Good evening, everyone. The Real Money Coach, faithful family, listening audience, everybody. We are glad that you are here. Please put into the comments where you are watching from. We are excited to be in 2022. Listen, double, triple blessings will happen in 2022. I believe that. And I believe it for myself. I believe it for you. So let us know where you are watching from. We have a phenomenal month lined up for you. We have a tremendous month lined up. I don't know if you were part of or you watched the show last week, but let me tell you something. When my co-host Michelle comes on, we'll talk a little bit about last week's show and how wonderful it was. Miss Kimberly, thank you for being here. Dr. Benita Harris, you will enjoy the show today. We're going to answer some questions for you today that you emailed me about. So I'm looking forward to sharing some great information with you, not only today, but for the rest of the month and throughout this whole year. The Real Money Coach, we are going to bring you information. If anybody knows what REAL stands for, put it in the chat box. Miss Alice Martin, good to have you with us tonight. Miss Ruth Bell, Mother Bell, good to have you in the house tonight. Sharon White, good to have you in the house tonight from North Carolina. And I do want to put a shout out to just my condolences to the greater the Park Church family, Uncle Willis passing, Elder Willis. So we do send our prayers out to Bishop Alexander and you guys as church family. So listen, REAL. What does REAL and the Real Money Coach stand for? Let me tell you. I was waiting for somebody to put it in the chat box, but let me remind you, REAL is for relevant, and it is for educational, actionable, and life-changing. And that's what we want to do. We want to bring you information that's real, that's relevant, that's educational, that's actionable, things that you can take action with, and that is going to be life-changing for you. And I believe that this month, this year, tonight is definitely going to fall into that category, life-changing. Wow, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about a topic that we don't know a whole lot about as people, but we're learning and we're going to be right in there. So without any further ado, let me bring on my co-host, Miss Michelle Mitchell.
Good evening.
Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Dial, thank you for being here. Brother Dial in the house. Yeah, Michelle, how you doing? What's going on in Kalamazoo, Michigan?
Oh my goodness. A lot of things are going on here. It's been a crazy first, we're 11 days into the new year, right?
Only 11?
Only 11. Oh my God. So much has happened already.
So much has happened.
Yes.
So let's do this. You know how when you have a conversation with someone you don't know what to say, how's the weather? How's the weather in Kalamazoo? Is it cold?
It's cold. Like it's cold for real.
For real,
like
cold?
Teens cold. Yeah.
Man.
It was like 12 this morning.
12 degrees.
12 degrees. Yeah.
And so we down here in Charlotte, people, it's like, getting down to like 28. But, by the time the day runs and the sun comes out, warms it up, we're somewhere, I don't know, upper 40s, 50s. But it's nice. It's nice.
The sun was shining today and it got to like 22. 22. So awesome. You need a coat. You need some boots. You need a hat.
Listen, when I lived in Michigan, I didn't play with the snow. I had long johns. I wore my long johns every day, right? And especially back then, I was meeting a lot with people in their homes.
Yeah.
I'm not playing with this cold. I'm gonna put some long johns on.
Right.
So when you're younger, you want to be cool. You don't want to wear long johns. You get old, man. Come on.
You put some long johns on.
Put them on. Yeah. Put them on.
I know. I was telling my daughter yesterday. I said, because she got a new coat. She was like, "Oh, Mom, thank you so much for the coat. It's so warm." I said, "Yeah, you gonna need it with that hawk blowing." And she
Yeah.
was like, "What's the hawk?" I'm like, "The cold winter wind."
Yeah. I remember
Yes, that's the hawk.
back in them football days, we like our coach was like, the hawk is out, boys. The hawk is out. So
Right.
interesting. Well, we kicked off last week. We
Mhm.
had Dr. Inga on talking about business funding and that
Yep.
type of thing. We had a lot of people have a lot of interest in it. You've had some experience. Kind of tell us what you've been experiencing so far with
Yeah.
Dr. Inga.
So one of last week, Dr. Ingo was amazing to me. She was very passionate about what she does. And, I work with small businesses every day. And one of the problems that most small businesses have is they don't have enough cash flow, or they are not able to get capital so that they can run their business profitably, right? So when Dr. Inga came on and she talked about business funding and how easy like her process and program is to getting business funding, I would just have to say everybody who has a business or who think they might want a business and you want to get funding for it, contact Dr. Inga. Like Dr. Inga moves swiftly. She has my head spinning right now. Um, so we're moving really fast and like she's getting it done. Like I had an idea and she just took it and ran with it. And she was like, "Michelle, we're gonna get everything you need. We're gonna get everything you need." I'm like, "Okay, Dr. Inga," but she is true to her word. She
Well,
is true to her word. So
that's awesome.
take
And
action on the things that you hear on this show can be life changing. So take action.
well, thank you for that commercial. I love that. Now here's the thing too with Dr. English program. Obviously, it's not traditional
Mhm.
funding. It's not going into Bank of America. It's not going into Comerica. It's non-traditional funding using other people's money, and you
Mhm.
have to understand that going in front. But
Yes.
I
Mhm.
think you mentioned that you have to pay to play, right?
Yes, you
If
do.
you want uncollateralized um,
Mhm.
business funding, then you pay to play. And
Mhm.
as time goes, you build and you build and you get to where you can get the type of things that you want.
Right.
Good evening, Adele. Nice to have you with us tonight from Greenville, South Carolina.
Yes,
So that's pretty awesome. Glad that you're having a wonderful experience with it.
I am.
And that's one of the things that, like you mentioned, we hear a lot of businesses can't get funding.
Right.
And one of the things too, I think that we always have to be is we have to be good citizens.
Yes.
And so, as I was talking to people who had responded in a way, last week, I'm interested.
Mhm.
Okay, what are you going to do with the funding?
Exactly. Mhm.
Okay. So it does not really do you any good to get business funding and go on vacation.
That's
That's not what it's for.
that's not what it's for.
It's for to create other revenue
Right.
streams. It's
Mhm.
for expanding your business. It's for getting scale for your
Yes.
business. Those
Mhm.
types of things.
Yeah.
So that's very important that we be responsible and let people know. Just don't do this because I think a lot of people did that with PPP money,
Yep.
and they didn't use it for the intended purposes.
Right.
And it's very important that we just be ethical and that we use those things
Mhm.
so that we don't end up with just owing money, but
On debt. Right.
right,
Mhm.
it is
Yeah.
about creating more revenue
Right.
streams.
Right.
So
I mean, it's just like what you say on the show all the time. One, you got to take action on things, but you also have to be disciplined.
yes,
You
yes.
have to be disciplined in the way you work, disciplined in how you use things for their intended purposes. And being diligent and disciplined will allow you to create things in the future that you don't even know you could do. But because of discipline and because
Mm,
of diligence,
mm.
you can begin to walk out your purpose on the things that you want in your life.
That's
But
it.
you got to create some discipline first, right?
So it's interesting because I always told our kids that when they're growing up,
Mhm.
your godsons and stuff.
Yeah.
I would tell them, okay, are you using that for its intended purpose? Right.
Right.
What was that fork intended for you to do whatever?
Right. To
Are you
poke your
using things
brother.
for the poking your
Yeah.
brother, right?
Yeah.
Use things for its intended purpose.
Right. Hmm.
And when we do that, so think about it. Okay, what's the intended purpose? Is that crayon, it's the intended purpose for that crayon to write on your wall?
Right.
No, right?
Yeah.
But it's the intended purpose for this brush for you to paint it, right? So,
Right.
but just those type of things I think is very
Yeah.
important, is using things for their intended purpose. So great conversation.
Yeah. It
Listen,
was.
Michelle, what I wanted to do, because I get so many questions, so many inquiries about cryptocurrency. Okay.
Yes.
So I do presentations, and somehow it comes into every conversation. Well, what
Wow.
do you know? And then I guess because we put ourselves out there as the real money
Yeah.
coach, they expect us to know some things
Hmm.
about all things money, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
So cryptocurrency is one of those things that people have been asking about. And it's interesting. I'm looking at this article from Yahoo Finance, and in this article, it indicates, and this is surprising. Maybe we'll unpack that with our guest tonight a little bit. It says that 23% of Black Americans own cryptocurrency. 23%. Now, where do you think that compares to white Americans or Hispanics? What do you think?
My initial thought is that it's probably a lower percentage, but then I also know that African Americans adapted to cryptocurrency sooner than mainstream financial investing.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it is higher. I don't know.
Absolutely. So 23% of African Americans own cryptocurrency, compared to 17% of Hispanics
Mm,
and 11% of white Americans.
wow.
Almost double.
Yeah.
And the question is why. And obviously social media has a lot to do
Hmm.
with it. Someone asked me, why do I think that is? I said, well, I think we got tired of sitting in the back of the bus, right?
Yes, absolutely.
If you were doing really well financially and you got a nice stock portfolio and you have all these
Mhm.
things, something new comes along, you're not necessarily ready to
Yeah.
jump on it, because I mean, you're living good,
Yeah.
right? You're living all right.
Yeah.
But if you are saying, hey, listen, I missed this investment,
Mhm.
I missed the cannabis, right? I
Right.
missed the internet, I missed
Right.
cable TV, except for Robert Johnson.
Right.
I missed all these things. Now this is going to come along, and now I'm going to jump on it. And it's
Right.
been the buzz that everyone's talked about.
Mhm.
And I just be interested to know, anyone who's listening in the chat box, put in the chat box if you own any cryptocurrency, whether it's Bitcoin or whatever. If you own some cryptocurrency, you don't mind telling us, put yes or no in the chat box. Let us know where you stand in this crypto space, right?
Yeah. Also,
Because
Tony, I think that investing in cryptocurrency is not like investing in stocks where you need a lot of money to start. You can literally buy crypto for a few dollars,
yes, right.
So it's an easier entry, I guess you could say.
Very interesting point. And
Mhm.
and we'll talk about this, and then we'll bring our guest on tonight.
Okay.
So one of the things people ask me, what do I think about Acorn? What do I think about Robinhood and
Robinhood.
some of these
Mhm.
type of apps?
Mhm.
And I said, I think they're good. I think they're great little investment
Mhm.
tools, but they're not going to move the needle
Mhm.
for real wealth, right?
Right. Mhm.
It's a good mindset.
Mhm.
Hello, Donna. Nice to have you with us as well. It's a good mindset to start thinking that way,
Mhm.
but I think you have to. It's a seed.
Right.
But doing Robinhood or doing,
Mhm.
especially when you're talking about Acorn, I think what happens, or Stash, where
Mhm.
you get, it rounds up every purchase you make to, so if you buy something for $1.87, it
Right.
rounds up to 13 cents and invest
Yeah.
it So those things are great. But they're not going to really move the needle like we want, like we need to move the needle for generational wealth.
Right.
And so that's why I'm excited tonight on this first of a series of 3 shows that we're going to be talking about the crypto space. Tonight we have Reverend Dr. Casey Kimbrough, the servant leader, the pastor, my pastor of the Mount Carmel Baptist Church here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Next week, we're going to have a lady named Janice Leaks. She's known as the Rainmaker. And then the following week, out of, again, responsibility, right, is that we're going to have a gentleman named Steve Hutchinson that's going to talk about the tax implications of the cryptocurrency. Okay. So we want to be responsible all the way around. But I'm super excited to have Pastor K with us tonight because he's passionate about it. He's knowledgeable about it. And, he's just an all around good guy anyway, so we are just really happy that he's coming by the show tonight just to share his experience with us. And so with that, without any further ado, let's bring on Pastor K.
Hey, good evening, Tony. Good evening, Michelle.
Thank you for having me tonight. Dr. Pastor, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking. It's a beautiful day.
Yes.
It is absolutely gorgeous. It is absolutely a gorgeous day to be alive, man. We were talking earlier, Michelle and I were talking in the green room that today was a busy day. I mean, it was a busy day. I mean, I'm like, boom, 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 boom. But what a blessing.
Yeah.
Right? To be able to have a busy day, end our day with this wonderful show, with this wonderful guest, and it's all good.
Yeah, I love it.
I do too. So, Pastor K, for the folks out there who may not know you, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience, and then we'll get into a little bit of the crypto world.
All right, great. Thank you, Tony, and thank you, Michelle, for this opportunity to share with you tonight. I'm Casey Kimbrough from Charlotte, North Carolina. By profession, I am a senior pastor at Mount Carmel Baptist Church and a teacher, professor. I've taught at the university level, and I am a certified financial educator. And so I wear different hats, but most of all, I'm a servant leader and a teacher. I love teaching. It is my passion, and it is really in my DNA who I am and what is my life mission, my life calling. Listen, very simply, I learned some years ago in terms of my calling into ministry, and it's been with me for a very long time, that I have a passion to help people come out of poverty, mental, emotional, spiritual, and financial poverty. It is a shackle that needs to be broken in our community, and then to help people learn how to use wisdom and wealth and wisdom to build and to leave a legacy for their children and their children's children. That's a little bit about who I am. I'm happily married, got 3 young adult children, and I'm enjoying the journey and having as much fun as humanly possible on my way to heaven.
I love that.
I'm glad that you got your designation set.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I love that. Well, as you were talking about it, it really kind of made me reflect on the fact that Mount Carmel did the WINS program, the financial literacy program. And so that kind of sounds like it kind of fit where you really thought ministry should go in terms of the whole person.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. To me, ministry is dealing with the whole person. And we see it when Jesus teaches. Jesus sets a wonderful example when he's got the crowd on the hill and they're hungry. And he said, bring those fish and those loaves over here. It's hard to hear spiritual lessons on an empty stomach. As a matter of fact, it's almost impossible. All right. So the school system got it right. You do need to feed people so they can learn.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. So Pastor K, we did WINS program, and you've been involved in a lot of financial wellness things, and obviously as a pastor and a leader, community leader, you probably have been approached many times of different things that people want you to look at, involved, and introduce to your congregations, et cetera, et cetera. Tell us why crypto, why blockchain technology. First of all, maybe even explain what cryptocurrency is.
Sure. Okay, cryptocurrency is of course, a digital currency. It is the new economy. And your statistics from that article, I read that article some time ago, Tony. It's a great article where you state 23% of African Americans are entering or have some cryptocurrency. When you ask the question why, the question is simple: it's because we've been locked out of the mainstream economy for hundreds of years. And even now, there are barriers that keep us out. And so we have an opportunity to get on something at the ground level and to introduce it to our community. And what crypto does, it levels the playing field because it can be shared without an intermediary. It is a DeFi crypto. You can share it from America to Africa, to Australia, to Europe, anywhere in the world that crypto can be exchanged and can provide value and wealth. And so to me, I'm not surprised at all, because as African Americans, we know for us to really be included in the economic system, we got to get on board with the new economy. And the new economy, very simply, is crypto and the digital economy. It is not coming, it is here. It is here. All you got to do is just Google what places take crypto and you'll see it is here. Now, we're a little slow in America to get on board, but across the world, it is exploding and moving rapidly.
Now, I often hear the term decentralized as it relates to crypto. What exactly does that mean?
Sure. A decentralized system means that the central agency is no longer the broker or necessary for exchange. So, for example, a centralized agency would be a bank, Bank of America, a real estate company. What does that do? In an ideal world, the centralized agency is supposed to provide trust and a vulnerability. In other words, it should be provide trust and equity, but many of our institutions have failed us and they've lost that trust. Well, with crypto and the blockchain, you no longer have to go through a third party. So you and I, Tony, you and I, Michelle, can do a peer-to-peer exchange of dollars, of resources. We can do a peer-to-peer exchange in terms of selling a home, real estate. It's going to knock all of those centralizing agencies out of play so that now you can go. And how can we do this? Is because the blockchain provides trust. Okay. In other words, this system of supercomputers networked together provides the trust necessary and integrity that they can check the system and know instantaneously, literally validate who I am, validate who you are, validate what resources, guarantee that the resources are there, and we can exchange them. The other thing that's exciting is you don't even have to have a computer. If you got a cell phone, we know that the cell phone population across the globe is growing. I think it's like a 68 or 70%. And even in these places that have very little internet access, if you have a smartphone, you will be able to do and exchange cryptocurrency in a DeFi world.
And so it eliminates the middleman almost.
Absolutely. And you can imagine what's happening in the historical traditional world of finance right now. There's a lot of resistance because you're talking about some major financial companies coming to realize, hey, we're about to be replaced. And so what are they doing? They're trying to get ahead of the crypto space and trying to get themselves leverage. And so now you're actually seeing these major financial companies coming up with these crypto investments and putting pieces together, just like they would do in traditional investment forms.
So some of them, from what I understand, are creating their own cryptocurrencies as well. Some of the financial institutions to kind of.
Yeah. So So we know there's over 2,000 cryptocurrencies. Most often we hear about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tron. Those are the most familiar ones because they're the oldest. It's in the public vernacular. But there are over several thousand crypto coins. And when you create a crypto coin, of course, it then has to grow. So Bitcoin, for example, there's only a certain amount of Bitcoin that's created. And that Bitcoin is mined. And so the value is highly speculative. And so crypto is like the wild, wild west. So about a month ago, Bitcoin was up to 60,000 a Bitcoin. Now it's about 43 or 45 or something like that. You can see that tremendous swing in such a short time. So one of the things you want to do with crypto is you've got to get education. You have to educate yourself or you're going to get into a train wreck.
So education is the key, understanding this new space. I mean, it's new space. And I think I heard that Bitcoin, I don't know, there's like 93% of the Bitcoins already been dispersed. And so there's a limited supply of different coins. And when that supply runs out, of course, supply and demand causes prices to go up, fluctuate, and all those type of things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And remember, of course, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You can buy any portion of a Bitcoin in terms of size. As Michelle mentioned, as little as a few dollars or as much as several Bitcoin. The same thing is happening now with real estate. The same thing is happening. They're taking these super buildings, breaking them up into little components. The blockchain can break it down to even on-pass rooms, to furniture in rooms. You might, in a hotel, you might own a chair. You know, that's all you own is that chair. And every time somebody goes to that room, you get your payment on the fact that chair was in that room. And we don't have time tonight to talk about it. And that leads us to the metaverse and what's happening into this online universe and these ETFs, as well as the virtual avatars. In a very short time, everybody in America will have one. Everybody in America will have one. So listen, I'm going to read this to you. This was tweeted out by Reese Witherspoon. And this was today. Someone sent it to me today. In the near future, every person will have a parallel digital identity. Avatars, crypto wallets, digital goods will all be the norm. Are you planning for this?
Interesting. And you know, you mentioned that ETFs. So ETF, what is an ETF?
An ETF is basically a valued token or a valued item. So for example, if you have a valued item, say that chair you're sitting in right there, maybe that's a one-of-a-kind chair. And because that belongs to Reverend Tony Jackson, that chair has a certain value. And because it's yours, it's unique. All right. And maybe that chair is worth $100,000. Okay. That ETF says that online someone can purchase that item. All right. And they have ownership of it. So now what they're doing is creating electronic art, for example, these little gadgets and things. And there may be only one that's ever been created and it has a super value. And so that value, and a person can own that as an ETF, as an investment, literally, and they can sell pieces or portions of it. And so you see all kind of ETFs being created and just from people's minds. And you say, well, what makes it valuable? If you can sell it to somebody,
Yes.
Valuable.
Hey, well, Pastor K, you said this chair 100,000. If somebody wants this chair for 100,000, they can have the whole thing. Listen, I would bring it outside, load it in their car, tie it down for them, whatever they want.
they probably just want you to sign it, Tony. That's all.
Right.
Sign it, Tony Jackson.
Yes, because he's an author.
Yes, see, there you go.
They want him to sign
it. It has great value.
Yeah, well, thank you both. Thanks for the plug for the book there. Y'all, the brother up pretty good.
Get the book.
The book release is going to be on February 22nd, 2022, virtually. Pastor K, you're one of the few people that's actually read the manuscript. Man.
Yes, and I wholeheartedly endorse it. I love the simplicity of it, and I love the call to action in every chapter, because it took me some while to figure this out. I was always a student. I read a lot of stuff, but it's not until you go into action that it means anything.
Right.
You don't take the action step. And Tony, I love the way you have that call to action in every step, and the simplicity of the steps. In other words, follow the book, follow the steps, and you can create legacy wealth.
Awesome. Thank you.
Mhm.
So speaking of taking action, with all of this, with crypto, and there's a lot of people that are probably want to take action, right? I mean, we know that 23%, they said 23% of African Americans are involved in it. That means that there's 77% out there that, you know, many of them want to get involved in it, but don't know quite how to do it. Where's the safe place? How do I get involved in this space that's kind of an unknown to me?
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit. I really would love to hear a little bit about why you're excited about it, and then how do we get involved? How do we take advantage? How do we get engaged in this space?
Right. Tony, one of the reasons I'm excited about is passion. I have a passion for helping people. I have a passion for education, for teaching. I don't ever want to do anything and not help other people. I want to help other people while I'm helping myself. I just believe it's impossible to do one without the other. So it's important for me that whatever I do, that I can share it, that I can help people in terms of that. For me, crypto is that kind of experience, because what it does is it allows you literally to put in place something that can literally change your life in terms of your financial situation, in terms of your future, and I mean in your lifetime. I mean, I'm not talking about, you know, we know the power of compound interest, but you know what? Crypto is so new right now that if you can get in on the front end of any new trend, all right, you have a tremendous opportunity, all right, to get out in front of it. And of course, it's just like if you knew what you know about Apple computers now, and you could go back and you know, Bill Gates and Steve Jobs and those guys, and they had a couple of shares of that they were getting out there for a few pennies. You would have got as much as you could. All right. All of those cats became millionaires. Okay, billionaires. But most of the time we don't get the word.
Right.
You know, we don't get the word. Crypto is the word. Okay.
Right. Well, and that's so important, because I think a lot of times with investing, it's not how you exit the market, it's how you come into the market.
Yes. And
that's when you win. So I think this is kind of, as you were saying, this is kind of being on the front end of this is where we want to be. So
right. And so there are a couple of keys that for me, as I mentioned, learning. So for me, crypto, what you want to do is you want to connect with a community of people that has experience, credibility, and can be documented. And you want to be in a place where you can learn and earn alongside of other people. All right. To me, that's the crucial piece, that you want to learn, you want to earn. All right. And while you're earning, you're learning. While you're learning, you're earning. And you don't have to wait until I get 4 years of education in a crypto space, for example. I'm actually taking a course it'll start at the end of January. It's an online course from a university in Greece, okay, about blockchain and crypto space. I'm just taking the next step. I just want to do it. But I'm already involved in the earning piece. You can't wait. You know, this is moving so fast. You keep on learning. But we've got an entry level way where you can enter at an entry level elementary. You don't have to know anything about crypto. Everybody learns at the bottom level. Start right there, learn and earn.
So a couple of things that you mentioned. I think you mentioned Megaverse. That's real big now. And I hear this Web3.
Yes, Web 3.0 in the metaverse.
Okay. And those are, what exactly are those? Are those things that we get involved in, or how? I guess I want to get to the nitty gritty. If I'm listening to this show tonight and I said, listen, I want to get in on this train while it's moving, right? Before it gets up to full speed.
Right.
What would be the steps that I would take if I know nothing about crypto?
So if you want to get in ground level, the first thing you want to do is connect with the money coach right here, Tony Jackson. Okay, connect with him. All right, get an appointment with him because he's going to connect you with a platform that you can learn and earn on. It's a community that's trusted. It's elementary. You come in at that space, learn and earn. And we're going to put you in that community and we're going to help you, surround you with a proven system. All right. Proven system and people that will help you. Very low barrier. All right. Membership platform. Very low entry point membership platform. Nobody's going to pressure you. You're going to learn and earn at your own pace. What you're going to do in this community is you're going to discover a group of people who are there to help you. And once you get in there and start learning and start earning, and we can show you how to buy crypto. We work with US Tether, which is tied to the US dollar. It's called a stable coin, as opposed to Bitcoin, which is a volatile coin going up and down. The stable coin maintains its value. You're not going to lose that stable coin. Of course, everything has a risk in it, but with that stable coin, we will show you how to take that stable coin, become a part of a community, get rewarded in the process, and then triple that in 180 days.
You said triple. Now I can do math.
Uh-huh.
Well, and one of the things for me is that a lot of people have asked me, because we've had people talk about crypto, and obviously it's out there. People are becoming more and more curious about it. And so I've been approached, and obviously I got involved just because of yourself and Janice Leak, who's going to be on next week, and Dr. Frazier, and just out of just kind of a trust and admiration for you guys. But I as you say that, I think people who come along, we're going to be learning together, right? Because it's not a situation where, like, if you ask me something about annuity, you ask me something about index universal life, I got you, right? I got you. So this is an opportunity for us to learn together. And I love that aspect of it, that we'll be learning together. And I've been watching some videos and all those type of things to learn together and then grow together.
Yes.
As the Real Money Coach family, we're just going to grow together and learn together and be on the front end of this thing.
Absolutely. And that's a beautiful way, because we're supporting each other. You're not left alone. You don't have to worry it's going to be too overwhelming. I don't know what blockchain is. We're going to teach you what blockchain is. Short 3-minute video. Anybody can learn it. Young people, whatever level you're at. And I just misspoke. So I said 180 days. What I wanted to say, I'm sorry. We can triple that in your rewards. We can triple that rewards in 18 months. It's a little over a year and a half. We can triple that, whatever your membership is in that time. And we always are upfront, know exactly what you're getting into. Now, the thing about crypto is this: you don't want to do this by yourself. Okay, once you send crypto, it's gone. If you send it to the wrong person, you ain't getting it back. Okay? I've talked with people, and my brother said to me, listen, I had some Bitcoin way back when, but I can't access it. I lost the codes. I don't know where it's at. Wow. We have to show you to make sure, hey, you got to be able to put your hands on this stuff. Okay, because you can't go back and just pull up. This is global, across the globe. But one of the things that I love about it, they're going to verify your existence. They do KYC, know your customer. They're going to make sure that it's tight, the security is tight, everything is together. Tony, I don't know how much time I got, but I want to share 5 quick things with you. You said, what should somebody do? What should somebody do who is interested in this? Okay. If I want to develop some crypto wealth, what do I do? Number 1, decide, first of all, you're going to use crypto as a tool to grow your wealth. That's the first thing. You can make a decision, decide. Second thing you want to do is educate yourself. You want to learn something about crypto on a regular basis. We got a great platform for you to learn, very low entry point. Then you want to learn and understand the blockchain. In other words, we got an academy with 4 of the top crypto universities have created you can learn from. Fourth, we want you to keep your ears and eyes open because you're going to see all around you how this crypto world is coming to us. If you were watching the game last night, you saw an advertisement on their crypto.com. The LA stadium there, they renamed that crypto.com, I believe. Mm-hmm. And then the 5th thing you want to do is believe you can do this. Believe in yourself. All right. Get a vision, get a plan, and then go into action. Don't press yourself, but go into action. Learn and earn. I keep saying that. Learn, earn, get the rewards, become a part of a great community, and we got you.
I love that. I'm a point person, right? So I love when somebody lays out 5 points. I got my 5 points. I know my wife is listening. She's a note taker, right? So I know that she's going to list those 5 things out. And I love that. Decide. You got to make a decision, right? And this is very important. Just making a decision. And then number 2, educate yourself and understanding that education is a process.
Right.
So it's not like you walk into, Michelle and I went to Western Michigan University together, and it's not like we walked in there day 1 and walked out with an education with a degree the next day. I mean, we barely got that thing in 4 years. No, I'm just kidding. But it's a process. It's an evolving, never-ending process, educating. Understanding the blockchain, that's the technology behind it. Mm-hmm. And, I think how many of us really don't even understand the fiat money system, the banking money system, how money moves, the stock market. We don't understand those things, but I love that, to understand the blockchain, the technology behind it. Number 4, you keep your ears and your eyes open. I think that's key. That we don't operate as though, like an ostrich with our head in the sand.
Right.
You have all of this going on around us. Well, I'm not going to get involved. It's not going to last or what have you. It's evolving.
Yes.
And it's happening fast, right?
Yes.
You got more and more. You got athletes that are now requesting to be paid in crypto.
Yes.
Most likely you see mostly Bitcoin because, again, that's been around the longest. And then that number 5th spot, that number 5th one, and that's the one I would even love for you to expound on a little bit as a wonderful life coach is believe that you can do this.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So unpack that. Unpack the importance of belief, Pastor K.
Anything in your life that you have achieved, it began with a thought, an aspiration, a desire, and a belief that you could achieve it. You heard the old saying, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. If you do not believe it's possible, then it will never happen. So what do I have to do? I have to fuel my belief. You take small steps. Every small step leads you to a greater victory. So you said, Pastor, how can I increase my belief? Okay. There's a wonderful book called Habits. A book on I can't think of the first part. I'll tell you in a minute.
Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits. That's what I'm looking for. Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
Yes, Atomic Habits. And Atomic Habits is basically saying that you put these in place every day, and you do this same habit. And if you do that same habit every day, then over time, you will become that. So I read a book some time ago talked about Be the person you want to become. Put in place the small habits that you want to have. Every day, practice those habits. And if you do that, you will become that. You have to believe every single day. Last little thing on that, something called the Kaizen Principle came out of Japan after the war, Second World War. And that means constant daily improvement.
Yep.
If it's just small, tiny steps, constant daily improvement. And when you see that small, constant daily improvement, your belief equation will go up. It's not sitting somewhere on a mountain and humming and saying, I believe it's going to happen. It's going to happen. That ain't going to do it. That ain't going to do it. You know, what raises your belief is success. It's those small victories. And all of a sudden you start saying, man, I knocked that hill down. I'm going after that mountain now.
That's right. It gives you confidence.
Yes.
Confidence. And the thing about it is as you were saying, I was thinking about, there's been a lot of documentary about John Wooden and how he took those great teams of UCLA, and it was always just be better today than you were yesterday.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Just be better today than you were yesterday. Beat your personal best. If we always are striving to be better than we were yesterday, then that all comes. And you mentioned confidence. I mean, and being able to do it. And once we've seen it done, I mean, I think I used the example of running a 3-minute mile. I mean, they thought that thing was impossible to, was it Beeman? I think that was his name. I'm not sure. But he finally ran it. And once he broke the 3-minute mile, everybody started breaking.
Right.
You know.
So Tony, let me share this with you quickly. So if you connect with our academy and you simply watch a small video, 4 to 5 minutes, 3 or 4 times a week, at the end of 3 months, at the end of a month, you would probably know, within 3 months, you would know more than 70, 80% of the population about crypto. You would know what blockchain is. You would know what ETFs are. You would be able to understand it. You'll be able to understand how mining works, how to mine Bitcoin, how that works. You will understand what Tether is, what Ethereum is. You will understand what's coming, what's going on in China, what's going on in Australia. You literally, it says that, I think it's like 3 months. After you study anything for 3 to 6 months, you become literally an expert in the general public because you know more than 80% of the people.
Yes.
Yep. So Pastor K, we had a couple people, Flawless Jewel, I think that's my niece down in Houston, actually, if I look at the picture, indicated, membership, do you have to have a membership to learn? What does membership cost? And those type of things. And so let's talk a little bit about becoming part of the community and that process. We're actually going to give people opportunity, if you want to get on my schedule, by going to iPadappointment.com. We can have a conversation. I can show you how to get signed up for the community, which signing up doesn't cost you anything.
Doesn't cost you anything.
So kind of walk us through those steps.
Sure. So thank you for that, Tony. And to sign up, it doesn't cost you anything, but to get a membership, you can't buy a membership with fiat money or dollars. You can only buy a membership with cryptocurrency or Tether. And you can buy a membership at the following levels: $300, $500, or $1,000, or any combination thereof. 300 is the basic entry level, 500 and 1,000. Now you say, okay, I'm paying for this membership. What am I going to get with it? This is what you're going to get with this membership. First of all, you're going to get a world-class tool to continue to learn and grow. Secondly, you're going to get 0.5% back on that initial membership that you purchase in rewards, in digital rewards. So if you buy a $300 Tether membership, then that 300 Tether membership in 18 months, it will give you 0.5% back. It will turn to 900. If you buy 1,000 membership, it will turn to 3,000 in 18 months. It's going to give you 0.5% back every day. So you're actually getting the membership, and you're not They're not taking anything from you. They're actually still adding to you with that process. And the third thing you get with the membership is you get a suite of offerings in terms of products like what we call a hyperpay card, a digital card that you can actually spend your tether, spend your digital currency, or change and buy other digital currencies. You're going to learn how to leverage these currencies and get other currencies, or just stay that, or go back to fiat. So think about it this way: just like at your MasterCard, I have a charge card, I have and my charge card gives me rewards. And when they give me those rewards, I can take those rewards at the end of the year. I can turn them into whatever I want. I can take it and turn it to fiat and pay debt with it. I can take it and go get products and get products with my rewards. I can take it and travel with my rewards. It's the same kind of basic entry level program. It's a reward program. This is not an investment. This is not an investment. It's a rewards program. And so you don't have to worry about your fiat, because we don't work in fiat. We work in digital currency. Our digital currency is US Tether, and that US Tether is turned to the reward system. And we're going to 3X that for you and show you how to grow that. And then we're going to show you how to leverage it even greater and turn it even more rapidly in terms of producing greater for you. So tremendous opportunity, tremendous platform. And as I said, it has a great backing, global community. It's credible. It has great experience. And I've been enjoying my journey with it. I've been a part of it now, going on 6+ months, and I'm doing wonderful with it. And there are tremendous testimonies, and we'll connect you with a global education system. The thing that makes this exciting is this connected me to a global community, so that I'm in conversation with people all over the world. And although I live in Charlotte, I'm living out my dream that Dr. King talked about being a global citizen. That was my dream a long time ago in the beloved community, and I'm actually realizing it in my lifetime through the crypto experience. I'm excited about that.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Andre Brown said, listen, basically, he just said free. Basically, he just said free. You buy your membership. Basically, the example you use, you buy your membership at 300, and with the rewards that are growing in 18 months, that 300 is now 900. And then those 900, that 900 value of the membership, you can convert that back to USD. You can use it at places that take it. You can convert it to any type of these. You can convert it to Bitcoin if you wanted to and spend it, or whatever your choice is, or you can continue to let it grow and now create that wealth, sustainable wealth. Yes. And one of the things that you mentioned that I took note of is that this particular coin doesn't fluctuate in value, so you're not in a position where, because I think some of the things that had kind of scared people away from Bitcoin is Bitcoin got up there around 60,000, and then it took a nose down. And people are like, well, if I'm going to do that, I might as well be in the stock market. Right. But you mentioned that this is a stable coin. Yes. That doesn't have that fluctuation. Right. Yes. Now, Tony, in all transparency, I gave you the minimum numbers. In other words, that 300 to 900, that's minimum. That's the minimum you're going to do. We're going to show you how to take that 900 over the 18 months and leverage it even greater. Okay. Yeah. But that's the minimum. That 900 won't change your trajectory, but we've got a way where it's safe and you can stack memberships on top of each other and continue to really leverage that thing out. Right. And that's the key. The key is to leverage that for greater. Because I mean, like you said, if you had $300 and $300 in 18 months, it turns to $900. That's cool, but it doesn't move the needle. Right. We want to move the needle. Right. Right. And so how do you take that platform and really move the needle? And that's what I'm excited about learning, to be honest with you. I'm excited to learn that process and and get engaged and learn. And so I'm just saying, Real Money Coach community, come join me. Come join me. Let's do it together and learn together.
Yes.
And I think some of you out there may be jumping into this thing, and you'll know more about it than the Real Money Coach. We'll be having you be, when someone has questions, you'll be the one that's answering those.
Right. So, Tony, let me say this to your guest next week, the Rainmaker, Janice. All right. She is the one in the Black Wealth Alliance who introduced this to me. Right. All right. So when she comes on next week, y'all hit her up, because she is like, okay, y'all understand hand signals? She's up there. Okay. All right. I just want to put it out there. When she comes on, you tell her I said hello and send my love and blessings her way, and I'm thanking her every day.
Absolutely.
The Rainmaker.
So next week, Janice Leaks, the Rainmaker, will be on, and I think she's the one that introduced it to Dr. Frazier as well. And so, so it is a community. Yes. It is a community, and like I said, I'm looking forward to having fun, and as we do this and grow it, and doing well, doing good
while doing well,
helping other people. Let's be a part of this movement that's going on, and we want to be with people who are cutting edge, right? And especially if we may think of ourselves as being technology challenged. You talk about blockchain and all this, and it sounds very technical. So, but one thing is going to happen: this technology is going to move and change with or without you.
Yes.
So you might as well link arms with some folks. Let's learn and do it together.
All right. 20 years ago, which one of us knew about the internet? What did we know about an internet? Absolutely nothing. We done went from internet 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 is now will be the virtual universe online with avatars. 1.0 was just simple. You could send a little text message and write out a paper. I remember when I bought my first computer, actually right here in Charlotte, I could type out a little sermon. It was no more than a word processor, a fancy typewriter. All right. Then we start doing emails. Okay. We lost our mind with emails. Everybody started doing emails. We thought we were somebody doing the email. And then 2.0 brought in video. And look at us online tonight, wherever you're at, video broadcasting. You can broadcast across the world. This used to be so expensive. Nobody could afford to do this. Only the big boys could, right? Big girls could do it, right? But now it's available to everybody. All right. Guess what Internet 3.0 is? It's the virtual universe. All right. With avatars, it will change over the next 10 years how we interact with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. You think about those first computers. I don't know.
Right.
I remember in high school, the little Radio Shack computer with the little window on it, and look where we are now. When we were in college, Mabee Hall had the computer lab. Exactly. And you had to go to Mabee Hall to actually get on the computer to do your homework. There wasn't no computer in your dorm room, or no laptop, no cell phone. None of that existed. Today.
Yeah, let me take you back a little further. When I was in school, I have a degree in engineering. When I was in school, the first computer class we literally had boxes of cards, big boxes of cards with punch outs, and you had to write the program, put the cards in, take them to the computer lab. It kept it cold because the room was just one big space, and you take these cards and you loaded them in, and then they did simple things like 2 + 2 equals 4, and you got a grade on whether or not you could put that together in that. It was, and now in my hand, this is more powerful than all of that was in that room. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. So listen, we've had a wonderful show. I do want to say one more time, if you are interested in being part of the community, go to iPadappointment.com, schedule. Pastor K has been so gracious to agree that anyone who decides to sign up for free, he will walk us through the steps that you need to do to get the membership on Saturday. On Saturday, I think we said at 10 a.m. But if you're interested in doing that, go to iPadappointment.com, schedule an appointment that we can sit down and talk, and I can walk you through the free part of the membership that I've done. And then we just take it a step at a time, one step at a time, one step at a time. And if for some reason you don't see anything that works for you on that schedule, let me know. We'll make some arrangements to make that happen. But let's be a part of this. Let's get in on it. Let's be a part of this movement so that we can say years from now, we were on the front end of something big, in our children's children. A good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Will say, I'm sure glad Granddaddy did this way back in 2022. So, Pastor K, any last parting words of wisdom for our audience tonight?
I just want to say again, thank you so much, Tony. I so admire what you're doing every week here. Thank you, Michelle. Tony is the real money coach. He has been such a blessing to not only myself, but so many of us in our community. And I want you to know that this is a community. We rise together. I am so committed to helping people to really get themselves in a good place, so that when you look back, as Tony said just a few minutes ago, when you look back, your children's children will call you blessed and thank God for you. So I'm thanking God for you. And whenever I'm presenting something, I always tell people, look, if nobody told you today, I want to tell you I love you. I want you to know God loves you. And listen, you need to know that you're somebody special.
All right, Pastor K, thank you so much. Hey, I do want to acknowledge a couple of people that I saw in the chat there. Alyssa, thank you for being here. Ms. Bell, and a crawl before you walk. I love that. I don't know who you are, but I love it. Thank you for your comments tonight. Michelle, any parting words before we sign off?
For me, always is, you heard the word. Like, if you're compelled, take action, and then create the discipline of learning what you need to do to make this work in your life. I mean, that's it.
All right. Well, make sure that you tune in next week as we continue this education process about cryptocurrency, hyperverse, and these types of things. Because again, at Real Money Coach, we want to bring you real information. We want to bring you relevant, educational, actionable, and life-changing. I think we did that tonight. So thank you. Be blessed. Stay safe. Wear your mask, social distance, and God bless you.